Okay, I want to work out problem number 3 and also the problem below number 3. So I want to find the surface area of a rectangular prism, and all I'm going to do is add up the area of all of the outside surfaces. So you can kind of start anywhere you want. I'm going to start with the surface on the right. Okay, so this is a rectangle that's 4 by 9, but there are two of them, one on the right and one on the left. So there's two 4 by 9s to give me 72 centimeters squared so far. Okay, what else is going on? Well, if I look at the front rectangle, I notice it matches with the back rectangle. The front rectangle is 16 by 4, right? This is a 4 because I know that number is 4 and this is a rectangle. So how many 16 by 4s? There are 2 of them. So 2 16 by 4s gives me 128. And finally, last but not least, I have to do the top and the bottom. So the bottom is 16 by 9, and it has a friend on the top that's also 16 by 9. So I have to make sure I include the fact that there's two 16 by 9s or 288. Adding these 3 items together gives me 488 centimeters squared. Again, you can double check that answer, 488 centimeters squared, okay? Now, let's talk about the next problem, which is a triangular prism. The triangular prism is called a triangular prism because the base is a triangle. And I know you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, this thing looks like it's resting on a rectangle. In fact, a triangular prism just means that technically the base is a triangle, okay? So it's just sort of a technicality. All right, so let's think about this, right? I have a triangle in the front and one in the back. And I know a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, the problem is I don't know this height here at all. Oh, actually, no, I do. It's 7 feet. Okay, so I know the two triangles, 1/2 base times height is 1/2 8 times 7, and there's 2 of those, 2 triangles in the front and back. Okay, so that's going to add up to 56 because it's really just going to be 8 times 7. The 2's cancel. So the triangles are 56. Okay, now on the bottom, you'll notice that I have a bottom rectangle that's 8 by 10, so that's here. But then I have these 2 rectangles on the side. And I know that it's 10 by something, but I don't know this measure. So what I need to do is solve for h, but I notice I can use the Pythagorean theorem here. So I'm going to say, now I just divided the 8 into 4 and 4 because this is a perpendicular bisector. 4 squared plus 7 squared equals h squared. Going through the math, I get h is the square root of 65. So this rectangle is the square root of 65 times 10, but there are 2 of them, right? So 2 times root 65 times 10. Okay, I just multiply numbers times numbers, so that's 20 root 65. But for practical reasons, it's a good idea to just put this all in your calculator. Typically, when you're talking about surface area, you give people a number. So you'd want to just add these numbers together, put them in your calculator, and say that the surface area is 297.2 feet squared. I don't care how you round. So again, make sure you see this problem, right? There are 2 triangles, one in the front, one in the back, 1 rectangle at the bottom, and then 2 rectangles on either side. So again, I'm adding up the area of all of the surfaces.